Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Mesa City Council meeting for November 15th, 2021. All of our members of council are present. I'm filling in for the mayor, which is on Zoom, but for coordination, it's easier for me to run the meeting. So thank you, Mayor, for joining us on Zoom. Council chambers are open to the public and will take comments in person. Also, you can provide comments telephonically and electronically. You can find multiple ways to participate on the first page of the council agenda. The invocation will be by Mr. Rick McClellan of La Mesa Ministries. Are you online, Mr. McClellan?
Good evening. My name is Pastor Jake Bessling, and I get the joy and honor of serving within our La Mesa Ministries off of Rio Salada and Country Club. It's been a joy for Rick McClellan, our executive director, and our whole team to serve in your city, our city, each and every day to raise up new leaders and also walk alongside those experiencing the brokenness and pains of homelessness. Tonight, as we begin with the invocation, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who serve so faithfully in the city of Mesa. Let's pray. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, thank you, Lord, for creating us beings that are intelligent, beings of design, beings of creativity, and beings of wonder. Also, humanity that you placed within our hearts, this desire to care for what is most important, to care for the vulnerable, to build cities, to build structures and systems that are lasting and helpful to all citizens. Lord, I pray a special prayer then, as you've created us and wired us this way, over this council and this meeting tonight, as the mayor and the team come together to think about ways and strategies to help the great citizens of Mesa. Bless their work, sustain them with energy and insight that comes from you, so that all the citizens of Mesa, a very diverse place to live, would be cared for, known, and that they would know that the leaders in this town stand beside them. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus, we pray for a great meeting tonight. Amen. Have a great meeting. Peace.
Thank you, Mr. McClellan. I appreciate the work you do, and now we'll go into the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To begin our meeting tonight, we have a few awards and proclamations. To begin, we have the Small Business Saturday proclamation. So the first is on November 27th, as Small Business Saturday. The City of Mesa celebrates our local businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community every day. Here tonight to tell us more about the proclamation is Samantha Jackson from the Downtown Mesa Association. She's the Deputy Director. Samantha, please join us.
I've never done this before, so let me know if I mess up. We are in the midst of working on a new downtown brand and what we want to be known for. Vice Mayor Duff has been in these meetings, and she, along with our small business owners, recognizes that what sets us apart in downtown Mesa and beyond is the uniqueness of our local merchants. What we have here in Mesa is a rare authenticity, and it's the story and often the heritage of our small businesses that gives Mesa this real sense of pride. I'm grateful to our mayor and council for recognizing this critical contribution to downtown and the entire city of Mesa. And we welcome everyone to Merry Main Street on November 27th for Small Business Saturday and obviously beyond as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and for all the work of the Downtown Mesa Association's been remarkable. I have a proclamation, and I'll come down as well as the rest of the council. Please join with a photo. This is a proclamation for Small Business Saturday. Thank you again, Samantha. I love Small Business Saturday. It's a great time to get the holiday shopping done and have a great time. Next on our awards is, there's 2 Copper Anvil Awards from the Phoenix chapter of the Public Relations Society of America. The Copper Anvil Awards are recognized as one of the highest honors in the public relations industry. Each year, they are presented to public relations professionals and teams for their exceptional performance and outstanding execution of tactics and campaigns. Here to tell us more about these awards is the City of Mesa's Public Information and Communications Department Director, Ana Pereira. Okay, I apologize for butchering your name. Ana, if you can, there you are.
Thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. This year, the City of Mesa received 2 Copper Anvil Awards. The Public Relations Society of America Phoenix chapter awarded the City of Mesa Water Resources Department a Copper Anvil for Best Annual Report for their 2020 Water Quality Consumer Confidence Report. This annual report is available to all City of Mesa residents in English and Spanish to provide important information about Mesa's drinking water, including testing and monitoring results that meet over 100 state and federal drinking water quality standards. Kathy McDonald, Weston Brown, and Jaleesa Sumter received the award on behalf of our Water Resources Department. The City of Mesa also received a Copper Anvil Award for its Mesa Care Integrated Communications campaign. At the height of the pandemic, several communications teams throughout the city collaborated on various creative communications campaigns to connect residents and businesses impacted by COVID-19 to available resources. The group maximized a limited marketing budget and primarily used low or no-cost tactics to promote assistance programs and services both in English and Spanish. They were able to do so by matching services to audiences successfully and developing content accordingly. Members of the City of Mesa Public Information Office, Channel 11, the Mayor's Office, Community Engagement, and Economic Development received the award on behalf of the City of Mesa.
Wonderful. And let's do another photo. You'll join
And we're
me
going to
again.
do two
Okay.
photos today.
I'm sorry, please go ahead.
No, we're going to do 2 photos.
Oh,
2 photos.
yes, Kathy,
okay.
sorry, Kathy, yes.
Okay.
Kathy McDonald, water for one photo, and
I
then
see.
the communications
Okay.
team.
Thank you.
Sorry for the confusion. And
Kevin. there's like a whole bunch of people.
This can come back here, doesn't this thing move?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I think they're over there, there's a gate.
She should hold it.
Except then you're.
Like a Super Bowl trophy? Whatever we had, like a Super Bowl trophy.
I think we all want a picture rather than see it.
Okay, before we go on, I would like to announce that Mayor Giles needed to leave the meeting, so he is no longer online with us. So we'll just go ahead and proceed. Next item is Turkey Tuesday, tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is Turkey Tuesday in Mesa for the 13th year in a row. The City of Mesa Engineering Department and the United Food Bank have organized a turkey drive for those in need. So Dave Richens, the CEO of the United Food Bank, is here tonight, as well as we'd like to have Beth Huning come also be part of this acknowledgement.
She hung me out to dry again. They
Sorry
sent the
about
head
that.
turkey to talk about this. That was a cheap joke. I'm a dad. It happens. No, this is exciting. Tomorrow is Great Turkey Tuesday. City of Mesa has been doing this for 13 years. It's always a great and successful event. We are really appreciative of everyone at the City of Mesa that pitches in and invites their partners, their contractors, people that do business with the city, and residents to come and donate at the Mesa Convention Center. We start at 7 a.m. and I think we run till 1 p.m. Do I get that right? Yeah, I think so. We'll hang out a little longer if we need to. But come and bring your turkey. We're going to take those turkeys and we will distribute them next Monday, November 22nd here at the Convention Center. Our food distributions went so well last year during the pandemic that we're getting the band back together, and we're going to do a distribution to families in need at the Mesa Convention Center. We'll be all set up, ready to go by the end of this week. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Beth, and engineering and transportation, PD, and all the folks that participate in this great event.
Looking forward to it. So we'll also do a photo with you, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure, okay. Yeah, take a picture of the turkey. I was gonna wear one of those blow-up turkey outfits, but it's stuck on a boat in Long Beach, so.
This is supposed to be fun.
Next time you're wearing it. Hi, Kevin. Hey, buddy. How are you?
Pick it up.
How Frankie get in
How
here?
many of us are getting inside of this?
Luna, come on. Come on in. You got $1 million smile.
How many of us are supposed to be in this? I don't know.
My hands are on the frame. We done? Yeah.
Keep it all legal, Dave.
I am. I'm done. You done?
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, going a little bit off agenda, I would like to take a moment for Mark to express his sympathies on behalf of council.
So Kevin, before you start, I wanted, this past week, we lost 2 of our public safety personnel, in particular Trevor Madrid. I had the pleasure of working with Trevor a number of years ago, and he's a fine young man. Cancer took him way too early. He was recently promoted captain and then had to take a retirement. A big celebration of life was happened for him and his family this past Saturday, and then he died this past week. So with that, I'm sure the mayor, council, we all think about him and his family, and our thoughts and prayers go out to him. So I just wanted to say that from the dais. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those comments, and they're expressed from all of us in the entire city. On the consent agenda, let me pause for just a moment to make sure if we're pulling anything off. Mr. Freeman, 6C?
We're good.
Okay, 6C is remaining on.
We can just announce that the modification to that site plan is on Legistar now, so if someone wants to look at it, they can go online and see it. So we've already up.
So just to confirm, Ms. Planning Director, we're all good on your end for what the applicant submitted?
Vice Mayor, Councilmember Freeman, that's correct. We are good.
Okay. Myself as well. Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Smith, can you help me out? Are we business licenses, is that coming off? Item 12A and 12B? It already is off. It is off, okay, thank you. I do have a comment for item 7A. I am going to leave it on consent right now, and before we take a vote, we can reevaluate after the comment, but I'm just going to leave it on in an assumption there. And
No, we have to read it. Well, Vice Mayor and Council, we'll have to read the comment. I think there's a comment, so we'll have to read it into the record anyway, so we might as well just take it off consent and just have it the first item right after consent.
okay. So item 7A, 12A, and 12B are off consent.
You're just adding 7A, Kevin, the others were off. So just add 7A is off.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and council members. These are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for Ultimate Imaginations, 2-day event, November 26th and 27th, 1 North McDonald. Item 3B, act on liquor license application for Ultimate Imaginations, 2-day event, December 17th and 18th, 1 North McDonald. Item 3C, act on liquor license application for Commemorative Air Force, 1-day event, December 4th, 2017, North Greenfield Road. Item 3D, act on liquor license application for Wings of Flight Foundation, 1-day event, December 18th, 4626 East Fighter Aces Drive. Item 4A, act on contract to purchase 1 replacement gas chromatograph mass spectrometer for the Mesa Police Department. Item 4B, act on the use of a cooperative contract with an 11-month term for the stagehand temporary worker services for the Arts and Culture Department. Item 4C, act on a 3-year term contract with 1-year renewal options for Kronos Case Management and File Management Solutions for leave administration for the Office of ERP Management. Item 4D, act on contract for purchase to replace a key management system for the Mesa Police Department. Item 4E, act on contract to purchase 2 additional drone detection systems for the Mesa Police Department. This purchase is grant funded by the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. Item 4F, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for Alltech equipment services, repairs, and parts for the Fleet Services Department. Item 4G, act on 2-year renewal for fire protection equipment maintenance and repair services for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4H, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for Peterbilt heavy-duty vehicle equipment, parts, and body repairs for the Fleet Services Department. Item 4I, act on dollar limit increase to the term contract for moving services for the Mesa Police Department. Item 4J, act on contract to purchase network hardware for the Department of Innovation and Technology. Item 4K, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for water, wastewater, mixer equipment parts and services for the Water Resources Department. Item 4L, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for centrifuge equipment, parts, and services for the Water Resources Department. Item 4M, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for water, wastewater, and hazardous waste laboratory services for the Water Resources Department. Item 4N, act on contract for Greenfield Water Reclamation Plant blower system electrical improvements, pre-construction services, and construction manager at risk. Funding can be split among the three partners, Mesa, Gilbert, and Queen Creek. Item 4O, act on contract for Dobson Ranch Library Improvements Project, construction manager at risk, guaranteed maximum price. This project is funded by 2018 authorized art and culture bonds. Item 4P, act on one-year term contract of excess workers' compensation insurance and workers' compensation self-insurance surety bond. Item 5A, act on resolution endorsing the creation of the Mesa Linda North Irrigation Water Delivery District. Final designation of the district is determined by the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. Item 5B, act on resolution vacating a portion of public right-of-way located at 2415 North Old Gilbert Road to accommodate a 6-lot residential development. Item 5C, act on resolution extinguishing a portion of a 20-foot public utilities easement located at 1119 South Stapley Drive to accommodate a new multifamily development. Item 5D, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an amendment to the intergovernmental agreement for waste collection and transportation mutual aid to include the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community as a participating party. Item 5E, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Maricopa County and the town of Queen Creek for the design of an intersection improvement project at Sossaman Road and Germain Road. The county is paying 1/3 of the design cost. Mesa and Queen Creek will equally split any design costs in excess of the county's contribution. Item 5F, act on resolution approving the recommendation of the City of Mesa Redistricting Commission concerning the establishment of council district boundaries in accordance with the 2020 U.S. Decennial Census. Item 5G, act on resolution setting the time and date for the public hearing on the continuation of the Mesa Town Center Improvement District number 228 to be December 8th, 2021 at 5:45 p.m. Item 5H, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement associated with conducting a feasibility study for modifying Bartlett Dam and sharing these costs with various participating entries and SRP. Item 6A, introduction of ordinance regarding ANX 21-00728, annexing property located north of Pecos Road and west of Signal Butte Road. This is initiated by the applicant. Item 6B, introduction of ordinance regarding ZON 21-00730 for property generally located west of Signal Butte Road on the north side of Pecos Road. Rezone site plan review and special use permits to allow for industrial development. Item 6C, introduction of ordinance regarding ZON 20-00840 for property located west of Stapley Drive on the south side of McKellips Road. Rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review with revised site plan to allow for a multiple residence development. Item 7A has been removed from the consent agenda. Item 7B, act on ordinance regarding ZON 20-00210 located east of Power Road on the south side of University Drive. Rezone with a bonus intensity zone overlay and site plan review to allow for development of a commercial center. Items 8A through 8J involve terms, rates, fees, and charges, collectively fees, for the various utility services. Specifically, item 8A, act on resolution declaring proposed fees for electric utility services to be a public record. Item 8B, introduction of ordinance modifying fees for electric utility services. Item 8C, act on resolution declaring proposed fees for natural gas utility services to be a public record. Item 8D, introduction of ordinance modifying fees for natural gas utility services. Item 8E, act on resolution declaring proposed fees for water utility services to be a public record. Item 8F, introduction of ordinance modifying fees for water utility services. Item 8G, act on resolution declaring proposed fees for wastewater utility services to be a public record. Item 8H, introduction of ordinance modifying fees for wastewater utility services. Item 8I, act on resolution declaring proposed fees for solid waste utility services to be a public record. Item 8J, introduction of ordinance modifying fees for solid waste utility services. Item 9A, act on subdivision plat The Grove at Lehigh, located north of McDowell Road and east of the 202 Red Mountain Freeway. Item 9B, act on subdivision plat View 202, located on the west side of Ellsworth Road and north of Ray Road. And item 9C, act on subdivision plat Pasadena Park, located west of Mesa Drive and south of Broadway Road. Vice Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to accept the items? Oh, yes, we do have a motion by Mr. Luna and seconded by Mr. Thompson. Please vote. And that passes unanimously. The next item, shall we do 7A or go on to the annexation? Okay. The next item is item 7A, repealing and replacing ordinance 5314 relating to compensation, vehicle, and communication allowance and city benefits for the mayor and city council. Ms. Mickelson, I understand that we have someone who would like to make a comment on this.
We did have a comment card submitted, but he's not on the line to state his comments, and that was his desire.
And did he state that he wanted the comment read?
He did not.
He did not.
And when we reached out to him, he didn't respond.
Okay. And Mr. Smith,
Just take a motion, take a
we
motion
can
and
go
vote.
ahead and, or should we wait? Can we do all three together, the 12A and 12?
I got to do them separate.
7A.
Separate?
So
Okay,
someone needs
okay.
to read the.
Okay, so I have a motion by Mr. Freeman to pass 7A and seconded by Mr. Luna.
Yes, you did.
Please vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item, 12A.
Start with 10.
Excuse me, okay, we'll just go in numerical order, okay. Item 10 is to conduct a public hearing on the following annexation case. Public hearing to, prior to the release of the petition for signatures for the proposed annexation case ANX 21-00799, located north of Warner Road alignment and west of Sossaman Road. Okay, so this is a public hearing to, prior to the release of the petition. And so I declare the public meeting open. Okay. Okay, am I supposed to use the? I declare the public meeting open. Ms. Mickelson, do you have any requests to speak on this item?
No request, Vice Mayor.
Okay. Do I have any council members who would like to address this item? Okay. I declare the public meeting closed. There is no action for this item at this meeting. The annexation will come back to council at a future council meeting for action. All right. So then, now we're on to 12A.
11A.
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 Oh, is that? Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll get through this. Item 11 is to take action on a resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a development agreement, a government property lease excise tax, a GIPLET lease agreement, and a perpetual easement agreement for the development of approximately 6 acres of privately owned property located at 139 North Dobson Road for the development called Star Point at Dobson Station. Do I have any council members that would like to request this, discuss this item? And Ms. Mickelson, do we have any comments on this item?
No request, Vice Mayor.
Okay. Then I see a motion by Ms. Spilsbury and a second by Mr. Freeman. Please cast your vote. All in, it's unanimous, and that passes. Okay, now I think we're on to 12A. All right, I want to get to this item apparently, right? Okay, 12A is an ordinance amending Title V of the Mesa City Code Business Regulations by adding a new Chapter 5 entitled Business License, requiring all persons conducting business in Mesa to obtain a business license. I do have a comment card, a blue card by Sally Harrison. Would you like to come to speak?
Good evening. Hi, Vice Mayor and Council. For the record, my name is Sally Harrison. I'm the President and CEO of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, and it's my pleasure to speak tonight in support of the Mesa Business License. As a business license is needed in our city for a variety of reasons. Over the years, businesses in Mesa have changed how they operate. The registry this license will help the city understand the needs of Mesa businesses as they change over time. The information about businesses operating in Mesa will also prove beneficial for companies that conduct commerce within our borders. For example, as COVID hit our community last year, unfortunately, some businesses were not able to survive. The City of Mesa and the Mesa Chamber of Commerce had tools ready to help those businesses in need. With the contact information this license will create, the city would have been able to reach out to more businesses to offer financial help and other assistance. For this reason and many other reasons, the Mesa Chamber stands with the city, ready to support a business license program. And I thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I probably skipped ahead, but Tim, would you like to make a presentation on this item, just to catch us up? This has been at our council study session previously, and I'd like to go over it again before we take a vote on it.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Council. My name is Tim Meyer. I'm the Business Licensing and Revenue Collections Administrator, and I'm glad to be here tonight to talk about the business license that we're proposing. Let's see, there we go. So why are we proposing a business license? We're going to be able to have a centralized database that will be able to support and assist small businesses to comply with local and state regulations. It'll help businesses do business in Mesa by making businesses aware of job training and opportunities and federal dollars that are available. And it'll also be able to inform businesses of new ordinances. We'll be able to share important information with small businesses in Mesa and provide contact information for City of Mesa programs. Who needs to get a business license in Mesa? It'll be taxable businesses, service businesses, and home-based businesses. Who does not need to get a business license in Mesa? Specifically called out in state statute, out-of-state businesses will not, food producers, residential rental properties and property owners, anyone with homes, condos, townhouses, apartments, and including short-term rentals, insurance agents, businesses not located in Mesa, government agencies, religious, veterans, civic service, nonprofits, schools, educational lessons and tutoring, taxis, livery vehicles, limousine services, babysitting, and mobile vendors, peddlers, and solicitors. Along with that, anyone doing casual business activity, basically people that have garage sales and automobile sales. Garage sales specifically, no more than four or no more than 4 per year would be exempt from this. Sales representatives and anyone having special events, mobile food vendors, peddlers, solicitors that are licensed elsewhere in the city code. What information are we going to be collecting? Business name, address, phone number, mailing information, designated agent information, property ownership, emergency contact information, high-level business information, ownership information, controlling persons, and applicant information. And what information will we be supplying? After collecting the data, which will take about a year to build the database, we're going to develop a searchable database. The city will limit the data that's available. Examples of the information that the city may provide are business name, business type, number of employees, and the expiration date of a business license. Right up here, we have the chart of fees that are charged by other cities, and what we're proposing a $10 fee for the first year and a $25 annual fee thereafter. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Council, any comments, discussion on this item? Ms. Spilsbury.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak in support of this as well. When I started on council, I met with Mr. Brady and asked him about our business registry and found out we didn't have one.
Sure.
My husband and I have been small business owners for 24 years, and so I am very passionate about small businesses and helping small businesses and getting them connected with the resources that the city has. And I think it's really important. I really appreciate that we're keeping the application fee extremely low, and that our annual fee is also very low and reasonable, and that we want to make sure that our citizens are programmed to help them and not to restrict them or to regulate them. But we can only help who we know is out there. And so I just really wanted to express my appreciation that this is actually happening and that we can make this become a reality in our city.
Great, thank you.
Other comments, Mr. Leonard?
Thank you, Tim, for your hard work.
Thank you.
Ever since I've been on council, Mesa Chamber has approached me and said, I think in 2014, Because, you know, the city of Mesa doesn't have business license. How do we locate who's in the city of Mesa? And I've always been an advocate for this. I think it's a great idea. This gives us an opportunity to see who is in Mesa, who's not in Mesa, especially when you have companies that want to be near clusters. If they're providing certain skill sets or certain products, for example, in and around the airport, they can identify what businesses are there so they can collaborate and work together. So I think it's a great idea. It's about time. It's been a long time coming, and so I'm definitely going to support this.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
I'll do so.
Mr. Freeman?
So, Tim, I know this is important to a lot of us. I know I asked some questions earlier in the week with the mayor, and Mr. Brady answered. So we do, in a fire inspection, we have a list of information on our fire inspection and our certificate of occupancy. I mean, we have a wealth of information there, and it's kind of similar to what we're asking over here at this application. And so I guess we cannot transfer any of that information, Mr. Brady, over to this record system. And I'm trying to kind of streamline this because there's so many exemptions. We're not going to get every business in Mesa.
Yeah, I think that's the point. A lot of the programs that we have and the way things are set up, you know, when you enter into your information for comply with the fire code and those, and remember those fire codes are really a subset of businesses. It's not every single business has to do that, right? So if you're a home-based business, you wouldn't be submitting that, I don't think. So, and it doesn't, and while we collect that information, the systems don't allow us to really pull that information across different proprietary systems and be able to collect it in one large database. So even if someone gets a certificate of occupancy, it may be under the name of the tenant, it may be the name of others. And so most business registries are just a separate database system that's specific towards the information we're trying to collect that Tim identified. We don't look at, some information is different. Certainly the name of the business and the business owners are consistent, but there's a lot of other different types of information we want on the fire side about the type of materials they store and locations like that. Otherwise, we're not asking for that information here. And as much as we try, these software systems like to keep their systems siloed, unfortunately, and don't allow us to kind of mine across each one of them. And this is just a simpler way to create a separate database. And I think we see that most cities are that way. We would love it that, you know, if you're a business, you came into Mesa, you could fill out one data sheet and it would flow into all the different areas you would need. Someday we'll find that vendor. Right now we don't, it doesn't exist for us. So
Yeah, that was my next question, if there was a vendor to do this, because
we've been asking, and the current system we have now, we had to wait, we had to hold Sally back a few years really just to even get to this point with this database that we're bringing. We, as much as we wanted, council wanted to do this, we actually had to put off until we could acquire the system we have now that allows us to collect this information.
So the monies collected will pay for our new employee. I mean, we have covered those bases.
Offset some of that cost.
Offset
Would you say
those costs.
Two employees and then the upkeep of the system and programming for the additional fields and so forth to collect the data that we want to collect.
So then the other question is our enforcement platform. Is it proactive or reactive? I mean, how are we going to enforce something like this? Just to, you know, are we hitting a business with a penalty after a year this is implemented, or what's our plan?
Right now, the city code does not have any enforcement tools in it. We'll be bringing that back to council in a year to have that discussion. We'll let you know how things are going. Then we'll have that discussion and decide at that point in time what we want to do to build in something for enforcement. But right now, there is none built in.
Right now, I guess if you say our approach is to create the value of the registration first, as opposed to the enforcement side of it. The idea is to promote this as an opportunity to be connected to the city, to the chamber, and to other information that hopefully businesses will see a value to register, and as opposed to using it as a regulatory leverage. I mean, we may have that conversation later, but for the establishing this, we're hoping to create the idea that this, by having this, it opens them up to a lot more information that will assist them in the long term. So that's the approach we're taking for the first year.
I guess my last question would be, if I'm a business that is exempt from having this licensing, could I still apply for any federal funding that were to come available, like we tried to do?
Absolutely. I see no reason that this
Yeah.
would have anything to do with being able to apply for any kind of funding.
Yeah, this doesn't
Right.
preclude you,
No.
it just.
I just want
Right.
Yeah, I
businesses to
think,
know
I see
if
what you're
you're
saying. If you're not
exempt.
on the registry, then you wouldn't be eligible? No,
Sure.
I think we're just not, the registry just precludes them from us requiring the information. Now, the question, if federal dollars were available, how would we know about those businesses?
Right.
I mean, that would be,
They'd have to find out on their own for the
we
most
call
part.
Sally.
Yeah,
So.
there you go.
Yeah, we have multiple partners in that. So I
Yes.
just want to make that clear
Yeah.
that, I'm not in favor of penalty for business proactively for enforcement. That's how I feel right now. And then I want other businesses to be able to apply for any type of funding mechanisms like we went through COVID-19. We had a lot of funding to give out.
Right, and most of those businesses would be required, the business ones that we help would be required to
Register.
do the registry. So I think that's the plan.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Mr. Heredia.
I think mentioning databases, I just want to stress, I think I mentioned before, just being simple, and we anticipate thousands, hopefully, small businesses applying for a license. So the simpler, the better, how they can navigate through our system in an easier way. That's what I would ask here, and ensuring that we work on a plan to bring additional stakeholders to outreach to small businesses that there is this available, and that they need to register on, and ensure that they understand what we're trying to do here in the city. So
Sounds good.
Agree.
I do have a few comments. First of all, under that, as far as being able to get the word, one of the benefits is us being able to share information that we have that can be of assistance to small businesses. So I don't know if on the application, but is there a way for them to maybe to check a box and said, I would like to be on a mailing list to receive more information about small business assistance, or so that we would have permission to, or do we even need to do that?
I think the assumption is because they'll have the registry, that's what we will do with that information, right?
Right.
That's the idea, how the city will use this information. And as the council knows, we've funded quite a bit of additional resources in the Department of Economic Development to stand up small business assistance programs. We've talked to council about even completing out the physical space over at the studios to create more support for small business. So we're hoping that this, along with the database we already have collected on small businesses who have already come to us for assistance, right? We already have that information. We'll add to that with the business registry, and that will become our way of communicating to businesses about just everything you said. And most of it, I suspect, is going to come a lot out of economic development as we continue to stand up the different outreach and technical assistance programs, and making that known to businesses. Now, I think more likely if businesses don't want to get that information, they could probably check a box and say, I don't want to get that information, and we would probably, that would be fine. But I think intentionally at the first is to take that and purposely use that for sharing that information with the businesses that we identify in the registry.
Great. I think it's a great opportunity. We're still going through COVID and federal funding opportunities, and there's a lot of possibilities as we go forward. I know we're doing more for small business than we have in the past, and I encourage all small businesses to register when that is available, which I assume will be relatively soon. Can you tell us when to look for that?
Yes, Vice Mayor, we'll be getting the application out in the next month or so, and then it'll be officially effective January 3rd, 2022 if it passes tonight.
Okay, and then the other comment I had was just interested what public information is available on the businesses. Is this information that we're holding privately? Is there on our city website, are we providing on economic development of certain just general demographics that business can look at? Like we have X amount of certain types of businesses?
It's on the slide. I don't know,
Sizes of
what slide was
businesses?
that? There, I think Tim highlighted some of the information we provided. I don't remember what slide it is, Tim.
Yeah.
He gave some examples.
Okay.
It was later on, I think.
It's number 8.
8. See if we can go backwards here.
There you go. So that would be the information. I mean, we're collecting more information than that. We highlighted that early in the presentation. This is the information that would be accessible through the search engine on the database publicly.
Okay. Okay. So just basic information, just want to reiterate that we're not putting out telephone numbers, email addresses, or anything like that.
Not an issue, no, but the city will have that information. We'll use that information to connect with businesses to share with all the resources we just talked about. And so this is where we would start. If we want to change, or if we want to add to that or whatever, we would probably need to, we'd want to come back to council and talk. But I think this is examples of where we would start with, the information that would make part of the search engine in the database, and we could look and see. I think as we get to talk to the businesses and they get familiar with the registry, we can find out if there's other information that is being collected they wouldn't mind being out there, but right now we're starting with that group.
Okay, so we're limiting it to this information initially.
Right, I think there was concern about personal information, especially home addresses and maybe personal cell phone numbers or whatever, and we're not putting that out on the search engine. It'll be collected, but not necessarily provided publicly.
Great, okay. Any other questions on this, council? And Ms. Nicholson, do we have other comments besides Ms.?
We do have an additional comment card that was submitted, Vice Mayor. Gwen Carey submitted a comment in opposition to this item, stating Mesa City Council was presented an opportunity to grow local government while imposing mandatory business licenses and fees on hardworking business owners. It was explained to council a new business license requirement was needed to collect data that cannot be captured in any other way. The associated fee was only $10. Let's start with data collection. Vice Mayor Duff talked through a scenario where first responders would know exactly who is at a place of business in the event of an emergency. She mentioned how easy it would have been to contact businesses when COVID CARES money came available last year. By the city attorney's own admission later during the study session of October 28th, this new government privacy grab won't even collect much data, certainly not what Councilwoman Duff envisioned. So it sounds to me like it is a fee collection more than a data collection. What about first responders in an emergency situation? How many business owners are DBA or not local? Can you please give us some recent examples of how not having the business license data available to first responders as they approached a scene caused a loss of life or property? How about COVID CARES money? It was well publicized, the money was available, and it required applying for. I'm not certain another email from a government agency would have been at all useful. Can someone explain why we need a database of Mesa businesses in case we want to find a dry cleaner in a specific area? Google Maps is currently providing this service for free. It feels like a weird stretch using the business license to justify the invasion of business owners' data and bank account. In a recent city council study session, the council thought using America Recovery Plan electric customer credit dollars to offset rising energy costs for residents in our city was a great idea, since, as one councilwoman stated, we are not out of the economic devastation from the pandemic. Based on this statement, why would anybody be discussing the imposition of any fees of any kind on residents or businesses at this time? Let me touch on the fees associated with your proposal. I get a sick feeling in my stomach when government says it's only X amount of dollars. Really? I guess it depends on whose dollars you are talking about. I know my kids spend dollars much easier than they spend their allowance dollars. Already you are talking about the cost going from $10 to $25 after year one. Do you know of government fees which decrease over time? It was brought up during meetings that our surrounding cities impose business licenses, so it must be okay. We chose to live in Mesa. We didn't choose Chandler, Tempe, or Phoenix. So why do we care what they are doing to their citizens? And why would we use what they are doing as an excuse to impose more government on the daily lives of our citizens without a clear benefit to the people? Please reject this idea of business licenses for job-creating companies here in our city. Let's not look for ways to burden any private Mesa citizen or business further under the guise of some benevolent data collection goal when it's clear from our city attorney that's not even possible. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. Any response from council? Would you like to address this or speak about it? Okay. Mr. Freeman.
Well, I can share from the public safety component, having been a firefighter, when I think she made the comment how to public safety or first responders, we have that information in our MCTs when we pull up to any scene in the city, the schematics of the businesses, the name of the property owners, but that's a different silo. I mean, we're talking about a whole different scenario, but our first responders, again, have that information to contact the property owner or whoever's leasing the business or whatever. So, we have that information. But again, then there was other components to her questions, but I can answer at least that one silo. Thanks.
Thank you for that comment. I was recently on a ride-along, and it was a fire in a building. But one thing I became aware of also on these emergency calls, there's property owners and there's business owners, and they're not necessarily the same person. And being able to contact the business owner who has inventory and needs, the fire needs access and everything like that is very helpful. So property owners and business owners are often different people, and when there's an emergency situation, time is of essence. This particular call was on when there's ammunition during a fire, and so addressing that right away was critical. Yes.
I wanted to make a comment. When I was out campaigning and talking to different business owners and stuff, a neighboring city sent an email to a business explaining all of the different resources they had through their COVID dollars. And so that's the type of thing that I loved seeing, that I saw an example of it, that just listed all of the resources in an email with the links, and they could just go right to that email and click on all the links. So yes, you could Google and you could probably find that information, but we know it's hard to navigate because there's just so much information on those sites. And so I like the idea that we would send out an email when we have resources that they can use that makes it very, very easy to find exactly what's available to them and how to get to it. So I just wanted to make that point.
Thank you for that comment. I agree. When we unrolled our CARES Act, our CARES dollars, our programs for our small businesses, we wanted to reach our most vulnerable businesses, and literally what we had to do is employ people to go door by door, knocking on doors, trying to find out who's the business owner. And it's not as simple as Google. We found many of the businesses weren't even listed with Google. We're able to provide that technical assistance so they could get on Google, and so for marketing things, there's a lot of things that we're able to do, but part of the frustration was knowing who was there and contacting them. And it literally took door to door in a city our size. It seemed almost impossible to reach all that qualified for the assistance. So I'm very much in support of the business license. I think it has much more benefit beyond the $10 or $25. We have so much available. Now that we're unrolling during our CARES Act, and now we're continuing, I expect more. We're putting more focus on small businesses in our city. So this is, I think it would be a mistake not to register just because the opportunities to really make your business more resilient and allow it to grow. So I will leave that at, unless there's any other comments. And Ms. Mickelson, that was it for comments from the public? Okay. So I think at this, we already have a motion by Mr. Luna and seconded by Ms. Spilsbury. And so we will take our vote. Please cast your vote. Mr. Freeman voted no, and the others are yes, and it passes. Thank you. So we're getting towards the end. So we're, next on our agenda are items from citizens present.
Vice Mayor, I don't think we called item 12B, so maybe we can just
Oh,
vote for
excuse
it
me.
too. So 12B, a resolution modifying the fees and charges for the business services development. So maybe we could just have a quick
A motion.
motion, a second, and a vote on that too, because it
Okay,
technically
for
wasn't called.
12B. And that item is a resolution modifying fees and charges for Business Services Department. And okay, we have a motion by Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Heredia. Please cast your vote. I can't get this to work sometimes. Okay, and that passes unanimously with the mayor absent. Thank you. I think now we're ready for items from citizens present. Ms. Nicholson, I see that we have a blue card here from Mr., I don't know if it's from Kerry Davis. All right. Mr. Davis, please come forward.
Thank you. Honorable Vice Mayor and City Council, my name is Kerry Davis. As the former mayor for the city of San Bernardino, California, I took part in a study conducted by the Public Health Advocacy Institute at Northeastern University School of Law in Boston. The reason I was selected to participate in this study was because while I was serving as mayor, there was a tragic terrorist attack in San Bernardino on December 2nd, 2015, when 2 terrorists killed 14 innocent victims and wounded 22 others. The purpose of the study was to develop the mass shooting protocol and playbook as a resource for mayors. I've been invited to attend a virtual event on November 18th at 2 p.m. hosted by Pittsburgh Mayor William Peduto to discuss the role of a mayor's office following a mass shooting. If you, the city manager, or members of the city council would like to attend, I would be happy to forward the email to you so you may register to attend the event and receive a printed copy of the protocol and playbook. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight and offer that invitation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that comment. Since it's not on our agenda, we won't comment on it, but I appreciate you coming forward and informing us. I think that concludes items on our agenda. So do we have a motion to adjourn? Not quick enough, right? Mr. Thompson, motion, and Mr. Luna seconded. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned.